When I was 12 years old, 13 years old, my dad taught me a lesson. He said, Jordan, there's two kinds of skylights. The ones that leak and the ones that will leak. So you got some good collateral.
No, but unfortunately that's the truth.
Skylights are notorious for their poor thermal performance and tendency to leak.
That's true. The codes are changing and it is hard, particularly if you're in the colder states.
Flaws, we had to fundamentally deconstruct the standard approach. We started by removing the standard factory flushing and addressed the 20mm thermal gap by injecting some spray foam insulation into the gap to eliminate any thermal bridge.
So use a standard Velux, that's just an FCM in there.
Up on the roof, we've got some custom skylights going in today. We're going to take you through how we do them. This roof has a 5-degree fall with an OSB substrate, and we've used the Adhero. We've done our skylight cutouts, and now we're going to lift the skylight on. So being custom, this has a few special features about it. Firstly, it's triple glazed, and also I got it made to the height that I wanted. It's made out of CL.
I love that they've planned this. Triple glaze, you don't get those overnight.
What the hell is aluminum pan?
That's a barbecue tray. I've seen some. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm gonna do something that I never thought I'd actually do. It's some reaction videos. Cal and the team have sent me a list of videos to watch and to get some thoughts on. So let's get straight into it and see what we've got here. Number one.
When I was 12 years old, 13 years old, my dad taught me a lesson. He said, Jordan, there's two kinds of skylights. The ones that leak and the ones that will leak. So you got some good collateral.
No, but unfortunately that's the truth. That's what most people think is the myth, that there's skylights that leak and the ones that will leak. But what I want to get out there, I guess that's why I'm putting this content out, is it doesn't have to be that way. Skylights don't leak if they're treated right. I want to break that myth. That's the myth we're out to break. All right, let's see.
Skylights are notorious for their poor thermal performance and tendency to leak. Standard installations often lead to significant heat gain, making them difficult to certify in high-performance buildings. To overcome these,
that's true. The codes are changing and it is hard, particularly if you're in the colder states, to meet some of the new requirements. You have to look closely at the skylights you're getting. So it is interesting what he does.
Flaws, we had to fundamentally deconstruct the standard approach. We started by removing the standard factory flushing and addressed the 20mm thermal gap by injecting some spray foam insulation into the gap to eliminate any thermal bridge. We built a custom frame and fully enclosed the entire assembly externally using XPS insulation.
So use a standard Velux, that's just an FCM in there. But he's actually filled it with the extra insulation, built his own frame for it to get it up to standard for that build. That's quite interesting to see how he's done that. I like it. He's obviously planned it from the beginning, thought about how he's going to do it and how they're going to finish it and how they're going to meet that requirement for the build. Looking at the extent they've gone to, I'm guessing is actually, potentially that's on a passive house.
Up on the roof, we've got some custom skylights going in today. We're going to take you through how we do them. This roof has a 5-degree fall with an OSB substrate, and we've used the Adhero. We've done our skylight cutouts, and now we're going to lift the skylight on. So being custom, this has a few special features about it. Firstly, it's triple glazed, and also I got it made to the height that I wanted. It's made out of CL.
I love that. I love that they've planned this. Triple glaze, you don't get those overnight. They're 6, 8, sometimes 10 weeks, depending on where you're getting them from. And he's planned out, or okay, what you think, but it looks like the height he just mentioned and how he's going to finish it there.
P here, it's got XPS insulation on it also. It has the pre-installed wraps, so all we have to do is sit it in place and then tape it in. The condensation is going to come down the hill here. We don't want it sitting in front of our skylight, so we've planed some of these OSB sheets and we're going to install them like that, and I'm going to tape all this in and the water will come down and get diverted away.
I love this guy because he's thought about every detail there. The height, he's offset it off the roof, the way he's going to get water around there, and obviously planned the skylight to meet the building code for where he is.
So we're going to start taping our skylight, and we're going to start from the bottom, do our sides, and then do the top last. Have that applied, we go through with our press fix and make sure it's all pressed down tight. So we've done our bottom and 2 sides. Before I tape this flat down now, I'm going to seal tape all of this, and that will fold up here, and I'm going to do a secondary layer, secondary taping there. We've done all that, we've got our runoff sorted, we've got another bit of tape just to seal the top bit off. So we're all done, we're taped up. We're gonna blast it with the hose and make sure it's not leaking.
The way, the cutouts in the roof, the offset on the height of the hob, the detail in the hob to meet his requirements for the area, and the sealing, the water runoff around it before they even put the roof on. And I love the fact he's actually water tested it at the end then as well.
What the hell is that? Honored, man.
That's a barbecue tray.
I've seen some unique roofing. I haven't seen a barbecue tray put up on a Skylight yet. That's a new one. Looks like on a caravan, I'm guessing, looking at that. But I'm sure you've seen some great unique roofing out there too. So I'd love to see some pictures of the most unique fix you've seen out there by DIYers. Send it through. I love them. All right, last one for the day.
Here are two ways of doing it, the old way and the better way. The old way lets water sit and the better way guides it to its destination. Water's always heading downhill, you create the path.
That's good. You can see there all the rivets and the silicone over in the first one compared to the rivets he's put in at the end. Completely different way of sealing the roof off. He often obviously knows how to use rivets well. But I think the bigger part there, that looked like a very funky roof. Probably extension on extension. If you're in Sydney, probably something in the west, you can imagine. But he's thought about how to get that water flowing down the roof and around. I think that's the key with anything. You don't want any ponding. You want to plan these projects. I think all or three of those videos today showed people that have actually thought about what they're going to do, not just got in there and had a go and siliconed it all up, but planned it from the start, thought about every detail, thought about where that water is going to collect, how it's going to run off, how it's going to divert around those points, and how to seal it all. And I think that's the biggest thing for any project is planning. Planning's key. You know, and I want to break that myth that Skylights have to leak. They don't. You know, there was a myth once that Japanese cars were cheap and nasty. Now look at Toyota brands in general, Panasonic, all the other ones. And I think we've seen the same thing with China over the years. I mean, their phones now come straight out of China and we pay a lot for them. Skylights don't have to leak. They're not cheap. They're not nasty. They can be a huge asset, but you've just got to plan it and use it right and plan it into the roof that you're doing. Stay tuned. We'll be putting out more info on how to keep your roof dry and skylight tips coming up. Have a great one.